Today I'm going to be attempting to take an undrafted rookie and turn them into an NFL Hall of Famer. It's going to be tough, so lock in. All right, here we are over onto Madden, and I am at draft week. Let's go ahead and look at some of the prospects in this draft class to start off with. Looks like some quarterbacks here at the top of the draft class. I mean, actually a bunch of quarterbacks, it looks like. 6 guys projected to go in the top 14. So that's pretty insane. But here is my thought process, right? I am on the Kansas City Chiefs. Will I stay on the Kansas City Chiefs? I'm not 100% sure. But my thought process is if we can find an undrafted receiver and then pair him alongside Patrick Mahomes, I think that might be our best chance at turning an undrafted player into a Hall of Famer. I think quarterback is going to be kind of tough, especially since there's not very many teams in the NFL that need quarterback right now, especially good teams. So like, I feel like if we go for quarterback, we're going to have to come in and take over a horrible team and just like really struggle for a long time. I think that the best thing that we can do is try to find a receiver, pair him up with Patrick Mahomes, and then try our best to just generate him looks like crazy. Like my plan is to just put him in the slot, obviously, because that is the best way to generate looks here in Madden. Use the Kansas City Chiefs playbooks. They're the best playbooks in the game. That is my plan. Let's go take a look at this draft recap. Let's see how it went. First of all, I am curious to see what we just drafted on our own. So it looks like we went center, middle linebacker, right guard, right outside linebacker, halfback, free safety, D tackle, halfback. Okay, so we did not draft a receiver at all, which is actually good, right? I didn't want us to draft a wide receiver because I want to go find one in free agency. And I'm actually unable to look at the undrafted free agents right now, so we are just going to sim the week, and hopefully I'm going to be able to look at the undrafted free agents coming up right here. Okay, so here we are. It looks like these are some of the undrafted free agents. Any of them that say experienced rookie is what we're looking for here. Is there anybody that's like really good? It doesn't look like it. All of these guys have a decent amount of years of experience. So it looks like the highest overall player that is a rookie is a 67. No, there's a 68 right here actually, as well as Kendall Hess being a 68. I think Kendall Hess might be my guy just because he's 21 years old, right? He's a lot younger than some of these other guys. Or do we go Jeremiah Rice, who has 94 speed, 93 acceleration? Looking at Jeremiah Rice's ratings, like I said, he is very fast. He has pretty decent catching, good deep route running, very bad short and medium route running, but he does look like a pretty decent player here. Let's look at Kendall Hess. Let's see how he compares to Jeremiah Rice. So 89 speed, 91 acceleration, good catch in traffic, pretty good route running. He probably is the better overall player, but do we take the better overall player or do we take the better overall athlete? I think that is the question that we're going to have to answer here. Also, Kendall Hess and Jeremiah Rice both have normal development, so I think that that's not really going to be any different from any of these rookies. I would guess that every single one of these rookies are going to have normal development, and I think I have decided that I want to sign Jeremiah Rice. This is going to be our guy that is going to be a Hall of Famer, and as I said, we're going to really try to generate this guy targets, which starts off with Jeremiah Rice being put in as the wide receiver 1. That's the first thing that we need to do here. Sorry to Rashee Rice. Oh my God, I just realized the Rice brothers. I wasn't even paying attention to that, but Jeremiah Rice is going to be wide receiver 1 as well as our slot wide receiver. Where is that at? Right here. So we are going to get him out of there and we are going to find Jeremiah Rice. So Jeremiah Rice is our slot wide receiver as well as our wide receiver 1. So he should get a lot of targets his way. But the one other thing that I do want to do is trade Travis Kelce. I think that trading Travis Kelce is going to get our guy more targets, but I also don't want to make our team super like horrible or anything. So I would like to either upgrade on the O-line or on the defensive side of the ball just to like keep our team still good, but it takes a receiver or like a target out of the receiver room for Patrick Mahomes. So he kind of is just forced to throw Justin Rice the ball. And I really like the thought of a guy like Ernest Jones, who's an 85 overall with superstar development. So we are going to trade Travis Kelce to the Rams for Ernest Jones. And now we should pretty much be the only target on this team. Jeremiah Rice is the #1 wide receiver, as well as us not really having any other receivers around us. So I think that we should be able to get a lot of targets here from Patrick Mahomes in year 1. The one other thing that I am going to do though, as you can see, I have 279 coach points. What I want to do is just go into offensive coordinator and really get our wide receivers boosts. So like this one right here, we are going to buy every single one of these wide receiver upgrades as we can. So we're going to get wide receiver agility. We're going to get change of direction for wide receivers. We're going to get spin move for wide receivers. We're going to get juke move for wide receivers. And we are going to get acceleration for halfbacks and wide receivers. So that was my goal going in, is to save as many coach points as I possibly could so I could just upgrade our receiver room as much as possible. We are going to jump in and do wide receiver battle with our guy Jeremiah Ross. We're going to do this every single season because I think that there's a chance at a development trait upgrade in these. But I am going to do this and I will let you guys know how it goes. So we did go ahead and get gold with Jeremiah Rice. Let's see if he can get a development trait upgrade. Even if he doesn't though, he will for sure get XP. He does get XP as well as a skill point. So we should be able to upgrade him a little bit. And then the very last thing that I'm going to do is put him as our #1 focus player, as well as do his wide receiver battles in here. And then I should be able to get to simming here. We will actually jump in and upgrade him real quick though before I simulate. We have 2 upgrades for him, and I think we really want to get it into route running, especially short route running. So I think we're going to go slot receiver for him. What do we get on this first one? +2 catching traffic, +1 catching, +1 short route running. We're going to go back to slot again. Can we get a better upgrade this time? Okay, we got a lot of different things, including break tackle, catching traffic, catching, medium route running, awareness, and ball carrier vision as well. So pretty decent upgrades for him. And it looks like Jeremiah Rice will be starting his rookie year as a 69 overall. Let's see how he can play. I'm going to sim to midseason and we'll see how the midseason stats are looking. All right, here we are at the midseason mark where as a team we are 4-2. But let's go over to stats and let's see how our guy is playing so far. Patrick Mahomes is only 17th in the NFL in passing yards, so I don't love the look of that. But it looks like Jeremiah Rice is second on the team in receiving yards with 277. He has 4 touchdowns. That's not super amazing. I was really hoping that he would get fed the ball more than that. It looks like he's not even playing all the downs. Why does he only have 344 downs played? I mean, I guess that is more than any other receiver, so I guess he is playing all of the downs, but only 28 receptions for 277 yards. Maybe this Chiefs offense isn't the best offensive playbook. I think it just said that we're 21st in total offensive yards. Let's see if our guy has any upgrade points here though. And he does have 2 more upgrade points, so we're going to continue to go into slot for him until we get this route running up a little bit. He is starting to look better. The route running is starting to catch up to his other stats. I mean, he looks like a good player. I can't even lie. He has 90 change of direction. I'm almost curious if we should put him at kick returner and punt returner, but I just don't want him to get hurt, so I think it's probably best not to. But that is it for the midseason mark. I will keep you guys updated with how the rest of the season goes. All right, so here we are at the end of the season where we ended up going 13-4. That is very good. I also think that I saw that Patrick Mahomes is up to #3 in the league in passing yards. So that is also super great to see. Let's go over and check out the receiving stats here. Let's see how our boy Jeremiah did. And it looks like he ended the season with 76 catches for 800 yards and 7 touchdowns. Our tight end is still just absolutely killing it. I think I am going to go to a playbook change because obviously that is for Travis Kelce. The tight end just kills it in this playbook. So I think I'm going to go look around the league at a team that really feeds their slot receiver, and I think I'm going to switch to their playbook. And I think that the playbook that I'm going to switch to is the Minnesota Vikings, actually. I just recently did a simming the 2024 NFL quarterback draft class entire careers to see who becomes the best. And spoiler alert, the Vikings playbook is a very good playbook in this game. As well as I just went over there and looked, and Justin Jefferson just had an amazing season. So I think I am going to turn on Minnesota if I can find it. I just seen it, but I keep skipping it. Okay, there we go. I mean, it was a good rookie season for our guy Jeremiah. It wasn't the best rookie season ever, but I mean, it was productive. He had over 800 yards, had a pretty decent number of touchdowns. Does he have more upgrades? He does. He has 3 more upgrades, so we will see how these go. All right, so after those upgrades, this is how Jeremiah is looking now. He's up to 70 short route running, 75 medium, 79 deep. He's looking very, very good. Everything seems to be going up. So I'm excited for his progression. He does only have normal development. I think if we really want to get him to be a Hall of Famer, we're going to have to try to find a way to get his development trait upgraded. But for now, I'm pretty happy with where we're sitting. So it looks like the Super Bowl is the Jaguars 49ers, but if you take a look over at the right side of your screen, Jeremiah Rice actually ended up winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. So that is just absolutely amazing, as well as Patrick Mahomes winning MVP, by the way. But let's go to the AFC, and if we scroll over to Offensive Rookie of the Year, it is your boy, Jeremiah Rice. So that is absolutely amazing for him. That's a great start to his career. Was he an Offensive Player of the Year at all? He was not an Offensive Player of the Year, but we will happily take Offensive Rookie of the Year. And he does have 3 more upgrade points because of that. Did he get a development trait upgrade? He did. He is up to star development now. Okay. We really have a chance now in this. Let's take one more look at his ratings here. Up to 79 medium route running, 74 short, 79 deep. He is looking just absolutely amazing. And I'm super excited to see how the rest of his career goes. All right, start of year 2 here, where we are going to be moving Rice all the way up to, oh my God, that's Kendall Hess. That's the other guy that we were choosing from. We ended up signing him as well. Well, I don't know why I say we, the Chiefs ended up signing him as well. We are going to move Jeremiah Rice all the way up to the #1 receiver again, though, as well as getting him in the slot. All right, I did go ahead and get Jeremiah Rice put in as a focus player. I played his little mini games and everything like that, and we are ready to simulate year 2. Let's see how he progresses through year 2. And actually, I did stop at midseason here in year 2 as well, so that I can go ahead and give our boy a long-term deal, because last year I completely forgot to, so I had to sign him to another 1-year deal after free agency happened. But we are going to go ahead and give our boy some money here. Is he going to accept? Let's sign him for as many years as we can. 7 years. Do you want a 7-year contract? This offer is perfect. I can't wait until next year. So Jeremiah Rice is locked up for the next 7 years here. As far as everybody else, I'm just going to let the CPU sign back whoever they want. I'm not like here to rebuild the Chiefs or anything, obviously. All that my goal is to get Jeremiah Rice to the Hall of Fame. So that's my goal. I'll see you guys at the end of the season. All right, here we are at the end of the season. It's actually Super Bowl week, where it's the Lions and Chargers. We ended up going 8-9 that year, so not good at all by us. But was our boy in any, probably not in the MVP talks, right? Definitely not in the MVP talks. Actually, I don't even see Patrick Mahomes here. I do see JJ McCarthy, so I still feel like this Vikings offense is good. But maybe it's just not the right one for us either. Maybe I should just go back to Chiefs. It's what worked. Offensive Player of the Year, Patrick Mahomes is number 7. Unfortunately, Jeremiah Rice is nowhere up here to be found. As far as best wide receiver, is he in this race? He is. So he's number 9 on the best wide receiver race, which isn't too bad. Let's go over and take a look at what his actual stats were, and we can see if he had a better season 2 than he had a season 1. And okay, so Jeremiah Rice ended up being our wide receiver 3, despite him being wide receiver 1 on the depth chart and the slot receiver. So I'm not really sure what's up with that, but he ends up with 918 yards and 8 touchdowns, does lead our team in touchdown receptions. So that is nice. 62 catches for 900 yards and 8 touchdowns. I wouldn't say that he's on pace to be a Hall of Famer, but he is a very good player and he's still upgrading, so hopefully he can get there at some point. And looking at overall league leaders, as I said, JJ McCarthy, 4,700 yards, 42 touchdowns. I mean, this Vikings offense has to be good, right? Like, I just don't know how it couldn't be. Justin Jefferson with 105 catches for 1,400 yards. I feel like this is the right one to be in. Like, Jordan Addison even had 1,200 yards. I know these guys are better than what our guy is, right? These are like insane numbers. I really want to figure out a way to get these type of numbers over to our guy, Jeremiah Rice. All right, start of year 3, and you guys know the drill by now. I'm going to do his training camp real quick, and then I'm going to go over and do his focus player camp as well. And then we are going to get to simulating. I'm going to try this Vikings playbook for one more season, but if we don't get good results, I might just go back to Chiefs. I'll let you guys know though, and I'll see you at the end of year 3 so we can see whether or not Jeremiah Rice kind of gets on track for being a Hall of Fame wide receiver. And actually, I need to show you guys the stats going into year 3 because he has 7 skill points right now. I'm not even sure why. Let's go over to progression history. Yeah, I don't know why. He got a lot of XP from last season for his 8 regular season touchdowns, and we have 7 upgrades here for Jeremiah Rice. So there is a good chance that he's going to be over an 80 overall now. I have been going into deep threat now. I would like to get a little speed upgrade if possible, but it also just seems to upgrade a lot more than what slot does. Like, you see what I mean? Like, that just upgraded so many things. So I'll show you what his stats are looking like after I spend all these skill points. And he is up to an 81 overall, temporarily up to an 83 because of morale. But look at this guy's stats right now. 94 speed, 86 catching, 85 deep route running, 87 medium route running, 75 short, 94 agility, 90 change of direction. He is turning into an absolute monster. I can't even lie. I'm going to go ahead and spend these 198 coach points that I have. It's probably not going to be on anything important, but if it is, I'll let you know. If not, we are going to see how year 3 of Jeremiah Rice's career goes. So here we are at the end of year 3, where Jeremiah Rice goes for 64 catches, 800 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Definitely not a Hall of Fame type year here for Jeremiah Rice. I just don't think that this Minnesota offense is going to work for us for whatever reason, despite it seemingly really working for JJ McCarthy, who goes for 4,200 yards again here in his career. But I guess we're going to go back over to the Chiefs maybe, or maybe we go to the Lions. The Lions had the league leader in passing yards and the league leader in receiving yards. So maybe we switch over to the Lions playbook for year 4. All right, so here we are at the start of year 4, where Jeremiah Rice is an 83 overall right now. He's up to an 85 temporarily because of morale. I think we're going to start going into some other things though. Let me go back into slot. I think slot and deep threat just are the 2 best ones to upgrade. But I really want that short route running that comes from slot. That's kind of Jeremiah's biggest weakness right now, is his short route running. And we do get pretty decent upgrades there. So this is how Jeremiah Rice is looking going into year 4 of his NFL career. We're in another new playbook. Hopefully this Lions playbook can do the job for us. I will keep you guys updated with what happens in year 4. All right, end of year 4 here. Just 7-10 here for these Chiefs. We have not had a whole lot of success here in this series at all. Patrick Mahomes throws for 3,600 yards. It's decent. Jeremiah Rice does go for over 1,000 finally in his career. 72 catches for 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. I do like that for Jeremiah Rice. That is pretty good. Let's go over and just take a look at like what his overall stats are looking like in his career. So he is at approximately like 3,600 yards or so, as well as 29 touchdowns, I believe, if I can count correctly. So he's having a good career. It's just not Hall of Fame worthy at this point. I'm almost wondering if we should trade him to a different team, because like this team's just not having any success. But I think that we will figure that out at the start of next season. Let's go ahead and sim to next season real quick, and I will let you guys know if I decide to trade him to a new team. We are at the start of the next season, where Jeremiah Rice is officially the highest overall player on this roster, or in this wide receiver room, I should say, which I do really like that. I think Patrick Mahomes is starting to lose overall. He's down to a 96 now. I think I'm going to give it one more year here with the Kansas City Chiefs. Hopefully him and Patrick Mahomes can finally just connect on a level where it looks like he could have some superstar potential in him. That is my hope. Maybe he has some upgrades. I'm not 100% sure yet. I have not looked. He does have 2 upgrade points here, so he's going to be up to a real 86 overall. True 86 overall. I don't know why he's standing sideways. Kind of weird, but he's up to an 86 overall here at the start of year 5. Can he finally have that breakout season that we've been waiting for him to have? All right, end of the season here. We ended up going 10-7, so a little bit more of a successful year out of the team. I'm going to go take a look at yearly awards. JJ McCarthy did win MVP. If I do end up trading our boy, I think that maybe the Vikings are the location I would like to go. JJ McCarthy just puts up crazy numbers every single year, so I would not mind getting in that offense. We were not in the MVP race or offensive player of the year. Were we in the best wide receiver race here? Let's see. Okay, so we're number 4 on the best wide receivers with Jeremiah Rice. Let's go over and look at what his stats looked like here. What did Jeremiah Rice do? So 86 catches, 1,000 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Another pretty good season out of him. Still just nothing super amazing though. It's just like barely over 1,000 yards. Can't quite just get that like super breakout season that I would really love for him to get. So because of that, I am going to be sending our boy Jeremiah Rice to the Vikings, as well as 3 first-round picks in exchange for Jordan Addison, where I am then going to trade Justin Jefferson to the Raiders for 3 very, very good defensive players. So now, if we go over and take a look at the depth chart, our boy Jeremiah Rice should be number 1 on the depth chart, and he is. So he is the number 1 wide receiver here in Minnesota for JJ McCarthy, who is coming off back-to-back MVP seasons, I believe. Hopefully this is the year that Jeremiah Rice can finally explode. I'm here doing training camp with Jeremiah Rice in his first year with the Vikings, and he is looking oddly similar to Jerry Rice, wearing number 80 here. So I think this should be the season. He's got too much aura around him right now for this to not be a massive season. And he is also up to an 89 overall with these stats going into year 6. Okay, end of year 6 here for Jeremiah Rice, and we went 15-2. And I already see that JJ McCarthy led the league in passing, but it looks like one of our teammates actually out-targeted us this year. Let's go look what Jeremiah Rice's stats were looking like though. So Jeremiah Rice, despite being the wide receiver 1 on the depth chart, only gets 93 catches for 900 yards and 6 touchdowns. Was this Alston guy in the slot? I think I forgot to put Rice in the slot. That's probably my fault, but oh my God, that is super frustrating. Next year, we're definitely going to have to make sure that we get him into the slot. We went 15-2. We're not in the Super Bowl, unfortunately, but I will keep you guys updated if anything new happens. Next year, we 100% need to get him as our slot receiver, though. Okay, so here we are. Jeremiah Rice is the #1 wide receiver on the depth chart, and we need to make sure that we get him into the slot. That stupid fucking Alston guy was in the slot last year, and he absolutely dominated. I feel like I missed out on an awesome opportunity to finally get Jeremy Rice that breakout season last year, but hopefully this is the year. Everything that we can do, we have done. He's the #1 wide receiver. He's in the slot. He's on the best offense in the entire game. Can he finally have that breakout year in year 7? All right, y'all. Did we finally do it? Moment of truth. Let's see. Looks like JJ McCarthy had a little bit of a down season, so that doesn't make me feel great. But Jeremiah Rice goes for 108 catches, 1,269 yards, and 12 touchdowns. An amazing season here for Jeremiah Rice in year 7 of his career. I don't know how old he is now. He's got to be like 28, 29 years old. But what a year here for Jeremy Rice. And he is up to superstar development because of it. Oh, that is huge. That is absolutely massive for him. What made him get up to superstar? Just because? This week he just had a dev trait increase just cause? Why not? Fuck yeah, dude. I can get behind that. He also has 2 upgrades. Let's go ahead and upgrade him. And he is going to be a 91 overall, up to a 93 because of morale. But he's a 91 overall superstar now. His route running was his worst trait when we very first found him. He has 97 medium route running now. His short route running is still kind of low, but I mean, he just looks like an absolute monster. I'm super excited about that season that he just had. It makes me feel pretty decent about his chances of making the Hall of Fame. We just need to have a few more of these type of years and then just have some consistent years towards the end of his career. And I feel like he should be on pace. Let's go look at his actual career stats here. So Jeremiah Rice in his career is at 561 catches for 6,800 yards and 55 touchdowns. It's not amazing, but when you consider that he's only 7 years in to almost have 7,000 yards in his career, that's pretty amazing. And all of a sudden, I am feeling really good about this challenge. I do want to point out real quick that it was time for Jeremiah Rice to get an extension, and it looks like they did extend him. So he is now making pretty close to $43 million a year, which is maybe going to really hurt this team. But for him, that's pretty awesome. And it is the start of the next season. I just went ahead and put him into the slot and made him wide receiver 1. I think I am going to stop showing you guys so much. I think I'm going to sim just a few years of his career, and then the next time that you see me, I will just kind of sum up everything that happened in that time. All right, so here we are at the beginning of the 2035 season now at this point, and our boy is starting to lose overalls. I think he's down to a 90 overall now. He got all the way up to a 94, I want to say, but is now down to a 90. Let's go over and take a look at how these last few years have gone for him though. So in his career, he's up to 10,000 receiving yards, 88 touchdowns, 855 receptions. All really good numbers, honestly. He does also have superstar X factor now, and this is how these last 3 seasons that I haven't shown you guys have went. So the last one that I showed you guys was 2031, where he went for 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns. Followed that up with 1,113 touchdowns, then 1,300 yards and 7 touchdowns, and then last year went for 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns. So he's had the 4 best years of his entire career back to back to back to back here. Hopefully he can continue that going into this season, but I am getting to the point where I'm a little bit worried he might retire. I don't think it'll be after this year, but maybe within the next few years. So we really need him to just produce at a super high level. We've continued to put him as wide receiver 1 on the depth chart, as well as put him in the slot every single year. As you can see, he is wide receiver 1, despite us having 3 90 overall receivers. I actually might trade somebody because that's just too many mouths to feed. but he is also our slot receiver. I think I'm going to go ahead and trade one of these other receivers though. So we are going to send Spencer Alston to the Broncos for this 92 overall superstar X Factor right end who's only 25 years old. I don't know why they would ever do that trade. That's actually an amazing trade for us. But we are going to do that. Hopefully that's a little bit of an upgrade to our defense. And we are now ready to sim what I'm pretty sure is year 11 here for Jeremiah Rice. All right, it's the end of the 2035 season. We did only go 7-10 this year. Let's see how our guy did. I think I just seen that a different receiver led us, which is super unfortunate. And he did. Tyreek Callaway goes for 116 receptions for 1,300 yards. Jeremiah Rice does have 89 catches for 1,099 yards and 9 touchdowns though. Still a very good season for him. It's just obviously I would have loved for him to be the 1,300 yard receiver, but that's all right. Jeremiah Rice still looking pretty decent here. Jeremiah Rice that year was number 5 on the best wide receiver in the NFC though. I don't think that he's ever actually won a best wide receiver. Let me go take a look real quick. Yeah, so taking a look at his accolades, he does have 4 Pro Bowl appearances. He's led the league in receptions one time, and he was the 2025 Offensive Rookie of the Year, obviously. But it says that he was drafted in 2026. That is not true at all. He was a undrafted rookie from the 2025 draft class. So that actually makes no sense. Just ignore that. He was not drafted in the 6th round in 2026. We literally saw that I simmed the draft. He went undrafted and I went and signed him in 2025. So I'm a little bit confused about that, but he's never won best receiver award. But I mean, he has just had very consistent seasons. Like you take a look at this career, he's putting together a case to be a Hall of Famer here. I mean, this is a lot of good seasons in a row for this guy, and it doesn't look like he's really showing signs of slowing down either. But we will see as we simulate to next season. Hopefully he doesn't take his step down. I might even trade that other receiver because we just can't have that many receptions and yards being taken away from our guy. But I will let you guys know what I do at the start of next year. And we are going to go ahead and trade Tyreek Callaway, and it is going to be for Dante Woodley from the Cowboys, who's a 92 overall superstar X Factor. So back-to-back years, we trade starting wide receivers for just superstar defensive players. I'm super happy about that, honestly. I think that our guy should pretty much be the only one on the depth chart now. And he is. He's an 88. Our next best receiver is a 77, as well as him being our slot receiver yet again here, right? Yes, he is. He's still our slot receiver. This is year 12 now for Jeremiah Rice. Hopefully we can see yet another huge season out of him. All right, end of the season, we went 10-7. What did Jeremiah Rice do this year? JJ McCarthy was very good yet again. And we had a different receiver as wide receiver 1. Again, how is this happening? Why does our quarterback target the wide receiver 2 more than he targets the wide receiver 1? I don't really know. Jeremiah Rice, though, with another 1,000-yard season, another double-digit touchdown season, 1,095 yards and 11 touchdowns here. He's looking amazing, right? Let's go take a look at his career stats yet again. I am getting scared, as I said earlier, about him possibly retiring sometime soon, but he has over 1,000 catches in his career, almost 1,300 yards, over 100 touchdowns at 108. He's putting together an incredible career. Hopefully he can make the Hall of Fame. I'm not 100% sure like what the criteria is that you have to meet to reach the Hall of Fame here in Madden, but I'm really hoping that he can. And yet again, I will keep you guys updated the next time that I feel like I need to. He has still never won a Super Bowl or even been in a Super Bowl, unfortunately. It would be nice if one of these years we could sneak into one of those. But obviously, I will keep you guys updated with anything that happens. Hopefully, we can get at least a couple more years out of Jeremiah Rice here. All right, end of the 2037 season here. Let's see how our guy Jeremiah Rice did. I think I just seen that he led the league in receiving yards. And oh my God, Jeremiah Rice goes for 103 catches for 1,500 yards and 22 touchdowns. Are you kidding me right now? 22 touchdowns. This guy is in year 13 of his NFL career. I think he's down to like an 83 overall. And he has by far the best season of his entire career. Did he win Offensive Player of the Year? I feel like he had to have, right? Is he in MVP conversations? He's not in MVP conversations. Was he the Offensive Player of the Year? He was. In year 13, Jeremiah Rice wins his very first ever Offensive Player of the Year. He's also going to be best wide receiver. What a year here for Jeremiah Rice. And it sucks because I think he might retire after this season. I genuinely think he has a chance to. Let's make sure to go over and take a look at his final career stats just in case he does retire after this. So he's sitting at 1,122 receptions, 14,000 yards, and 130 touchdowns in his career. I feel like he just solidified himself as a Hall of Famer. I don't think there's any way that you keep him out after the season that he just had at this age. But is he going to retire, or is he going to try to go one more season? Like I said, I think he's all the way down to like an 83 overall at this point. Let's simulate to next week. Hopefully he doesn't retire. Hopefully he goes one more year here. Let's view the 2037 retirements. Come on, please say that you're going to go one more season. How do I look at just our team? Okay, he doesn't retire. So we are going to get at least one more year here of Jeremiah Rice. Can he put up similar numbers to the numbers he just put up? I really hope so. And here at the start of year 14, Jeremiah Rice is no longer even the best player or the best wide receiver on the team. He's actually number 3 behind Jamie Thomas and Taylor Price. Of course, we're still going to make him wide receiver 1. We're still going to make sure that he's in the slot. Hopefully he can put up some more great numbers. This is also the last year of his contract. So if he's going to retire, it probably is going to be at the end of this season. Hopefully he can have a really good farewell tour though. All right, end of the season here. Let's go see what our guy Jeremiah Rice did. JJ McCarthy with another amazing season, by the way. And Jeremiah Rice drops all the way down to 59 catches for 647 yards and 5 touchdowns. Still a respectable season. Like, it's not like it's a horrible year or anything like that, but obviously not quite up to the level that he has been playing at for these past few years. Looking over to his career stats though, he's at 1,181 receptions. He does eclipse 15,000 yards just barely, and he is at 135 touchdowns. So an amazing career, I should say. I almost said amazing season, but an amazing career here for Jeremiah Rice. If we go over and take a look at his awards, he ended up being a 5-time Pro Bowler, led the league in receptions 1 time, was the 2027 best wide receiver and the 2037 best wide receiver, as well as the offensive player of the year that year. And I think that it's going to be hard to argue him as not being a Hall of Famer. I feel like he has done enough to get into the Hall of Fame. Also, the simulating is starting to take way longer. When I started this, simulation was going by so quick, but now that we're in 2038, man, the simulation is taking forever. Does he retire? Oops. What am I doing here? Up to the Vikings. He doesn't. Our only player that retires is our kicker. So he is going to try to push it one more year. And he is all the way down to a 70 overall here. We are still going to put him as our wide receiver 1, as we always will, as well as getting him in the slot. He already is in the slot. So we're doing the best that we possibly can to hopefully keep him producing big numbers. Can he put up another huge season here? Probably to end his career, most likely. He's all the way down to a 70. So if he goes another season, I'd be very surprised. But can Jeremiah Rice cap his career off with another good year, or is he just going to continue to fall down on the targets list here for the Minnesota Vikings? All right, there's the end of the season. What does Jeremiah Rice do? JJ McCarthy with yet another 4,000 yard season, and Jeremiah Rice is back up to 89 catches for 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns. You cannot make this shit up right now. This guy is just incredible. Let's go and take another look at his career stats just so we make sure that we see him, because if we sim the week and he retires, we'll never be able to see him again. He is at 1,200 receptions, 16,000 yards, and 147 touchdowns in his career. And not only that, but Jeremiah Rice is also 5th on Offensive Player of the Year, as well as 2nd on the Best Wide Receiver award, behind Leo Abbott, who I think we actually had and I traded away. Is he going to call it a career though? Let's find out. Hopefully he goes one more year. I would actually love to see it, especially after a 12,000 or a 1,200 yard year that year. But if I had to guess, I'm going to assume that he's going to retire here. Let's see, 2039 retirements. Is Jeremiah Rice here? He's not. Oh my God, he's actually going to go another year. There's no way. All right, I will see you guys for next season, the 2040 NFL season. And Jeremiah Rice is no longer on the team. I'm wondering if he's just sitting in free agency. If he is, I will go sign him. If not, I guess we're going to have to go on a manhunt here for Jeremiah Rice. He is just sitting in free agency. He's down to a 67 overall, but we're gonna sign him back to the roster and we're gonna put him at wide receiver 1 and into the slot. And we're gonna see how this final season goes. All right, end of the 2040 season here. What does Jeremiah Rice do? JJ McCarthy with another 4,000 yard season, by the way. He's probably the greatest quarterback of all time at this point. Jeremiah Rice goes for 117 catches and 1,300 yards and 8 touchdowns as a 67 overall in his 16th year in the NFL. What is going on? This guy is going absolutely nuclear here at the end of his career. Up to 1,300, almost 1,400 receptions in his career, 17,600 yards, and 155 touchdowns, as well as multiple other Pro Bowl appearances, up to 7 now. He's led the league in receptions twice now. He was the Offensive Rookie of the Year, Best Wide Receiver, and Offensive Player of the Year before in his career. Jeremiah Rice is having the most insane career I've ever seen. This guy's a 67 and he just went for 1,200 yards in a season. Is he going to retire? Will this be it for Jeremiah Rice? I'm actually I don't know. I want him to just keep going. He's still putting up 1,200 yard seasons as a 67. He's having an amazing end to this career. If this is it, I feel like he has to be a Hall of Famer. Does he call it quits? And he does. Wide receiver Jeremiah Rice retires after 16 years. So he ended his career with 17,000 yards, I think 155 touchdowns. His little retirement thing is right over there in the right hand corner. I'm retiring. I'll miss my teammates, but it was the right time, says Jeremiah Rice to ESPN. Officially submits his retirement papers. Does he make the Hall of Fame? If we come over and take a look at the legacy leaderboards, Jeremiah Rice is 4th of any active receiver in the NFL. The only guys above him are CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, who all won Super Bowls. That's really the only reason that they're ahead of him. But he ends with a legacy score of 22,000. I don't even think it's possible for me to actually look if he makes the Hall of Fame. I don't think there's an actual Hall of Fame induction here in Madden, but with 22,000 legacy score and with the stats that he put up, I think it's pretty much unquestionable that he's a Hall of Famer. Oh, it says it behind them. Okay, so he's still a Viking. So I'm going to sim another season here, or sim to wherever I can see whether he made the Hall of Fame or not. Comment down below right now if you think Jeremiah Rice is going to be a Hall of Famer. All right, start of the next season. Can we see whether or not he makes the Hall of Fame? Let's go to the legacy leaderboards and let's go over to wide receiver. Does Jeremiah Rice make the Hall of Fame? He does. We've done it, boys. Jeremiah Rice from undrafted rookie to Hall of Famer here on Madden 25. If you enjoyed that video, make sure to leave a like. Comment down below, Jeremiah Rice is the GOAT, so that I know that you made it to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you like this content and let me know what else you would like to see from me. But that is pretty much it. Peace.